I feel like my journey with art is it's deep. It's a deep journey.
How deep? How deep? Take us there.
It's a relationship that's uh man, we gonna take it there, bro. Like
You gotta
art,
go.
it saves me, you know what I'm saying? Like it
Sipping with Sakari.
Oh man, got the red cup. Oh
man,
man.
we met in college, so I might as well take it back to those days, you know.
It's only right. It's only right, man. It's only right, man. Well, welcome to the show, man. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Sipping with Sakari, man. What you sipping on, bro?
Oh man, so this past weekend I put my heart and soul into my first coquito.
Oh man.
With some of the Belizean rum in there, a little Belizean coconut rum with
Oh man.
with some Ray and nephew as well.
Oh, so you made this Puerto Rican joint, you made it, turned it into Caribbean.
Yeah.
You made it the Caribbean vibes. You put the Ray and nephew. I know about that.
Come on, man.
Come on now, Jamaica. Yeah, my grandfather, that's all he drank.
Yo, so I had to do it. So that's what I'm sipping on out the red cup, solo.
Sheesh, man. So you mentioned Belize. That's where you're from?
Yeah. So my mother is Belizean. My father's from Guyana. So I've got a good mix of cultures within those cultures.
Okay.
Belize, it's half Mayan and half African, right? The Garifuna people who are sort of native to Honduras as well. They populate a part. Then there's parts from Mexico, and then the Mayan people, and it's a beautiful melting pot of cultures.
Wow, making me want to go take a trip to Belize, bro.
Oh man, listen, it's me and Shine. It's me and Shine. We the ambassadors, bro. The trip to Belize, man.
It sound like a travel guy just selling it. Like, oh man,
we gonna have to do like the Noble Promise retreat out there. Once we really do what we gotta do, we gotta.
Once we get everything launching, working, we gonna visit the culture for some inspiration, for more inspirations, man. So, before we jump into anything, man, like please, like tell the people, because I know you. You know what I'm saying? You're a friend to me, man. Kelsey, man. Kelsey's a great human being. We met in college. He was actually my barber. There's so much stuff, man. We could talk about so many things, man. But before we get into any of that, like please, like introduce yourself, man. Like you spoke about you're from Belize. Like how old are you? Where are you from? Like where are you? Are you an artist? Like we'll talk to him.
Yeah, man. Well, hello world. Good evening, good morning, good night. Whenever you're consuming this beautiful content, man. My name is Kelsey Giddings. I'm a 29-year-old artist, and I put it in my Instagram bio, I'm a Renaissance man. So I'm gonna just go about that. I'm a 29-year-old Renaissance man. I'm from Jamaica, Queens, New York City. Currently live in Woodbridge, New Jersey. Let's see, man. Like Sakari said, we met in college, and the story of my life is just snowballs, really. Like things will just happen. A little pebble will fall, and then it'll catch momentum, and then it turns into a thing. And that's what got me into cutting hair in school.
Okay.
Barbers just kept hacking me. They just kept messing me up, bro. They just kept, can we curse on this?
Yeah, you speak your mind, brother.
Bro, man, barbers just kept hacking my shit like senior year in high school, and I just got tired of it. So I bought a little cheap pair of liners from like Rite Aid or Walgreens or one of those.
Yeah. And
I just started practicing on myself. And by the time I got to college, I knew how to do the lineup, but at certain points in college, money is tight. So I couldn't afford the cuts on campus anymore. So I just borrowed my boy Julian's clippers, his clipper set, and gave myself a Caesar, and the rest is history. people's like, yo, you did that? Yo, let me get a lineup. Let me get a cut. And they're like, yo, who cut your hair? And then it just rolled into, the word of mouth.
Yep. And
So
that's the entrepreneur spirit right
that's,
there.
that was my first taste of entrepreneurship, bro. And
Wow.
there's always a lesson in each experience. There's always a sign that got a take, So from
100%.
that, it taught me about the power of just being personable, just being a good person and having a good product and sort of letting the product speak for itself. Right. So that's kind of where, fast forward now, my career in art has just been relationships. It's just been relationships and me putting the time into whatever it is, whatever project it is. And people saying like, yo, that's dope. We get a logo, oh, you do jackets? Could you do some sneakers for me? Could you do this painting? And it's just snowballed into that, and even to where we are now, bro. We're going to get into how we, became a collective, but
100%, 100%, man.
I don't want to get too ahead of myself, bro.
Right. There's so many things that people don't know. For example, like the logo. No promise, you actually made that logo. You know what I mean? And we're working on some big things together, man. But before we get into any of that stuff, like, I want to know. So you call yourself a Renaissance man, right? And I even remember it, like sitting in the chair. I mean, and this is entrepreneur spirit, right? We're inside the public bathroom. You know what I mean? Like we're in Russell. You know what I mean? People walking in, but people respected Kelsey, man. You had the vibes, right? You had the professional gear, all that. You know what I mean? And one thing that stood out to me was just your personality, right? It goes back to being a Renaissance man. You're just smooth. You gave that barber-like aroma, that characteristic, the conversations, you know what I mean? It's like a relationship with your doctor. You know what I mean? They're speaking about, hey man, what party are you going to? What you guys doing later? How's classes going? Da, 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 da. And just from there, it's so crazy. The relationships that I built on that. But I want to know about early Kelsey. I want to know about little Kelsey. I want to know, how did you become that Renaissance man? You know what I mean? Like talk to me a little bit about your family, your inspirations, like
definitely,
all that type.
Definitely. So I was raised by my grandparents and my mother. Right? I grew up in a single parent household. My father is president, but he lived in Brooklyn. I lived in Queens, and my dad. I'm one of 12. I'm one of 12.
Whoa.
Yeah, I have 11 siblings.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
My pops was living a life of a Gallus. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a Gallus for real.
I mean, wow.
Shout out to Pops, man. It's all love, and he's taught me amazing lessons over the years about being a man in general. But yeah, from the beginning, I was just raised by older people, so I kind of developed like an old soul.
Got it.
And a major part of my upbringing is, my childhood best friend. His dad was a karate instructor, so he studied we studied the discipline of Jeet Kune Do, which was generated by Bruce Lee. It's a combination of different styles like kickboxing and it's definitely a blend of many different martial arts. So from an early age, from first grade, really, we were just learning how to meditate, how to be still, how to just discipline, getting our ass kicked every Saturday, but taking the lessons from that. And as I'm talking about it now, it's kind of just, those are like, I always said when I have kids, they're going to study martial arts because that foundation is priceless. Discipline, learning to respect others, learning it's better to injure than to maim. It's better to maim than to take a life. Like those lessons and drilling those things into young Black men, that's so important, bro. So important. Wow. So so just growing up every Saturday, martial arts, dealing with grandpa, grandma, like that structure was in me from early. So
wow. And that structure, that discipline, that kind of transpired into what you're doing now, because being an artist, you need discipline, no? being an entrepreneur, I mean, you need some type of structure, you need some type of discipline, because nobody's telling you, hey, you need to go paint now. You have to feel inspired, and you have to be dedicated in what you're doing to make things happen, man. So do you think that had anything to do with your upbringing?
Bro, it does. And it's crazy because I definitely struggle with discipline and creating. It's so funny. I wonder when this episode comes out if you're going to be able to hear like a little ghost whispering and floating around. But my wife is definitely running around here, and now it's just like, besides me, like, I'm the voice. Like, yo, you got to paint. But you're absolutely right, man. Discipline and dedication, and willing to have an open mind with creating things. Like even like this wall behind us, like I did this, but I didn't know how to do like this panel abstract design. I just went on YouTube, spent hours studying, and then executed. So, that's the way. That's the way of an entrepreneur.
That's crazy.
You may not go to school for whatever it is that you're specializing in, but that the time in, you do that research and execute.
So I agree 100%. So you spoke a little bit about how you got into cutting hair, right? But like, was little Kelsey drawing doodles and sketches? Was he painting on walls? Like when did this becoming an artist thing? Like, when did this happen?
Man, it definitely started from Pokemon and Dragon Ball. And I mentioned I have 11 siblings, but I grew up as an only child in the household.
Okay.
So it was just me, my mom, my grandfather, grandmother. It was me and grandma spending a lot of time because grandpa and mom was working and mom was in school. Wow. So whether, when I was running away, not trying to, having to do, like, my grandma would have me writing, like sitting there working on my penmanship. She was like a teacher at art. So when I was like, try to sneak away, I would just still have the pencil and just be drawing, spending time by myself, watching Pokemon, getting inspired, doodling. Dragon Ball changed my life. Started drawing Vegetas, going crazy, just drawing those characters. And it carried over into school. And, the teachers started paying attention to my skill and pouring into me from then. And high school was, fast forward to high school, that's when art was really dope. Learned how to paint, color wheel, all of those gradients, and learning how to do all these other things. And teachers just really, they really were able to see my ability, and I guess I had a passion for it.
Wow.
Brought me to college, made me study, that's what pushed me to study architecture. My dad was in construction, and I always loved to draw. So I said, let me just put the two together. And it was a time in college, bro. When I got into college, that first year, I fucked up. I had that taste of freedom. We were outside, bro. We were going down. I know what that culture was like, bro. So
I know, yeah.
I got that taste, and it kind of set me back. But that setback was like so important in my development as a man and as a creative, because I had to work my way back into my program. So it's Delhi's architecture program was 2 years. Then you'd have to apply for the 4-year.
Okay.
So after that first year was so bad. That first semester, I was fighting back those next 3 semesters just to get back to baseline, but it wasn't good enough. But I built a relationship with my advisor, and they saw the work that I was putting in. So they gave me grace. They said, listen, here are some of the electives that you're going to need. Just take those and pick other classes. And that's when I took a bunch of art classes, freehand drawing, art history, painting class, and really got involved with student activities. So that's when I joined BSU, Student Programming Board, West Indian Coalition. And that's what really started that, because I had the time. So, that took it brought the fun back into artistry, because architecture is that program is no joke.
100%.
Endless all-nighters, bro.
I believe it. Yep.
Again, all of those things in the studio. So for myself, I didn't have that discipline, so it wasn't fun. Having to do art, in a sense, wasn't fun because it was tied to these assignments. Right. So in that year, my off year, brought the fun back. Started studying, learned about and even architecture, history of architecture. The art was in there, right? The Baroque era and all the Renaissance art was tied in. Michelangelo and all of these, it's all connected, So
this is amazing, man, to hear. And college is such a beautiful thing, man. And the reason why college is such a beautiful thing is, you hear a lot of people speaking about, puts you in debt, which is true. And maybe you don't need to go to college. Maybe you can learn some things, but in other places. But speaking about what you just went through, the tenacity that you needed to fight, you had to fight your way back into this program. You know what I mean? You didn't give up. And the importance of gaining relationships with people, right? And them respecting you and your work ethic to be like, you know what, Kelsey, you're going to come in regardless of whatever they say, like, you're going to come. Like, we like this kid. He's put in a lot of work. Like, these are such important lessons. These are such gems in order to be successful in anything. And then you're speaking about, staying up all night, building that stamina in a sense, because I bet you're staying up all night right now, but you're doing it for things that you love, right? And it's about the self-awareness, right? Understanding like, okay, I'm not enjoying this. This isn't bringing me happiness, right? But maybe there's something else that does. And then you started to be curious, right? You started to be curious about all these different things, right? And that transformed you into this person. You started to become a leader, right? You went to BSU, you went to all these different programs, started connecting with different people, getting inspired from different cultures, relationships, man. And learning from different classes. I mean, man, it's crazy.
Yeah, the way that you paint that is it's awesome, bro. I just got to give you your flowers right now. You're really good at this, man.
No, man. I appreciate it, man.
Listen. You're making me sound like, maybe Michael B. Jordan could play me. You making me sound like, you got to get this in theaters.
It's painting. Painting, man, is that even just painting words, painting food, right? Like putting food together. You do it with colors.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, man. It's just about being an artist. Do you feel like you're an artist at heart?
I do. I feel like my journey with art it's deep. It's a deep journey.
How deep? Take us there.
It's a relationship that's man, we're gonna take it there, bro. Like art. It saves me. You know what I'm saying? Like it when I go to dark places, in my mind, I think about concepts. Even when I'm not creating the art, like I'm thinking like, man, this is, full transparency. Like the past couple of years, I've had some like lows, and, people around me will say like, whether it be my wife or some friends, be like, yo, you could use this energy and create something. You could make something beautiful out of this. And yo, bro, art is saving my life, man. It really is.
Wow.
It really, really is, bro. Like,
wow.
Coming, like, the reason why my logo is this heart, hearts have to be included in my work in some way, because I've got a big heart. And the passion for the art and the passion for, the message in my pieces, what I create, it's part of my calling. It's really cool that where a part of, what we're doing with Noble Promise Studios, because it's like a reminder. Found myself like drifting recently, in relation to art. I was feeling my ways and thinking about, this is going to be a part of this collection. Taking time to process and translate and transmute my emotions into my work. But, having a battery and a purpose is like, we can really impact people. We could really touch people with this dope ass concept and these dope ass creations from these amazing artists.
You can save lives.
We could save lives, bro. We could really, it's it might sound like melodramatic, but that's real.
It's real, because you're talking about how art saved your life, right? And you're talking about, these are normal things. We all have had lows, right? Everybody deals with their own things, and from day to day and from year to year and stuff like that. But for you to be able to be like, this art saved me, right? It created a therapy for you,
Absolutely.
And now with Noble Promise Studios, with NFTs, with this new technology, the blockchain technology, and all these things, we can impact people from all around the world, right?
For real.
And we can save lives all around the world, man. It's incredible.
The other day when we linked up, I was like, a lot of times, like, I'll just take a moment to load. Like, I'll be present, but that bar is like moving. Like, I'm processing something different real time. So earlier today, I was getting ready for our conversation. I was just thinking, like, man, the full circle of my art journey is like, it's a full circle moment because of the collection that I'm gearing up to release soon. And that's it's Everything's Fine, right? Which is it's like a love letter to depression and self-limiting beliefs. But what we're doing and giving copies of the book away. Can I get into this? I'm not even sure.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Tell the world.
And like for those that,
you said the book. What is this book?
Right. So the book, I actually got it right here. I knew we had to boom. So this is really, I could call this like the start of my professional art, my journey as a professional artist, right? Where people started paying me for my craft, besides cutting hair. So I made this color coded during my first real bout with depression, just feeling unsure, directionless. And back in 2018, it was just a challenge. It was a challenge by my wife. She was like, yo, you should make a coloring book. She was my fiance at the time. And all the while I'm planning an art show with the purpose of proposing to her at this art show. Right. And the name of the show was The Healing Component, the THC Art Expo. And I was inspired by an artist that I really mess with. He's one of the best lyricists, super underrated. His name is Mick Jenkins. At this project called The Healing Component. And the healing component is love. Right. So the show was based around love for self, love for culture, and love for others, your family. That's very important. 100%. So those are the three pillars, and all of those ideals went into this book. So started with the healing component, and it feels like lost sight of the healing component and had another just gray time, dark time this year, amidst a bunch of amazing things that happened in my life. Still was feeling that way. So taking those emotions and putting them into this new project called Everything's Fine, which is like something that every time I see it in a show or a depiction of art where a character is going through something the main thing somebody says is, yo, no, I'm fine. But it's the most common lie people tell themselves. So
very true.
You feel me? Like it's just so weird that that's like culturally acceptable. Like that's the thing. Like that's the mask that people put on. Yo, I'm fine.
Especially as men, you know. I mean, as a man, you have to put up this. I mean, at least for me, you know, and from where I come from, like, you know, my pops always did it. Like, we put on this demeanor, like everything could be burning, the house could be burning down, but like, nah, we're fine. You can't let people worry. Nah, we're fine. Yeah. Hey, baby, don't worry, we're fine. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of pressure. You know what I mean?
So much pressure.
It's a lot of pressure. But wait, can we clap it up for your wife real quick?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because she's the one who told you to create this amazing book. Can we? Yeah, can we? That's it.
Salute, toast.
Yeah, toast to your wife, man.
I don't know if you heard the yes in the background.
that's incredible, man. She told you to make this book, man, and I mean, this book blows my mind. This book is incredible.
Thank you.
Right? Can we flip through it a little bit? Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, I'll give y'all a little sample. And that's an amazing thing about art, bro, because I felt that because I made this then, it didn't have legs anymore. You know, it was like a thing that I did and I just moved on.
Too special.
But art really lives forever. And so yeah, bro, like let's see, let's get into here.
So is this a comic book? What is this? This is a story, bedtime story. What is this?
So it's a coloring book.
It's a coloring book.
It's a coloring book that is dedicated to the founders of the Nova Foundation. And that is my wife and one of her best friends, a nonprofit. And
okay.
It's the story of a young woman from Brooklyn, young woman from Queens. It's a story of a young woman from Brooklyn and a young woman from Queens, and the combination of their interests, with that being STEM, right? STEAM education. One of them is she studied engineering in college, and the other one is an educator. My wife is an educator, and they love to travel. You know, they were friends before, but they joined the same organization in college. So they're sorority sisters. And it's just talking about love of the culture, starting in the neighborhood, right? So one of the first things in here is spread love. It's the Brooklyn way. Got this Biggie piece.
Ooh. I need to hang that up.
Yeah.
I needs to get hung up.
And fast forward to like the travel aspect, right?
Wow.
Right? This is a tapestry piece, right? Because when you start to travel the world and you start to experience these other cultures, you gain love for the cultures, and gaining perspective, and all of those things help you change the way that you look in the mirror, in a sense. You know, you're adding pieces of these different parts of the world to yourself, right? Different cartoons in here, little black boys and girls learning how to build robots and getting into STEAM technology in the future. Like, you know, these are important images.
Incredible.
We get to the self-love aspect. This is one of my favorite pieces right here. It's called Note to Self. And it's kind of inspired by the legend Keith Haring. But, you know, there's different messages in here and affirmations in these pieces of art, and there's levels to it. It's like entendres.
What made you say coloring book? Like, what made you say like we're gonna create a book? Like, why not just make it pre-colored? Why actually go through the process of coloring each individual page?
You know, the importance of people having their experience with the art is they're having their own experience, right? They're expressing themselves, right? Coloring is something that, you know, everyone did as a kid. It was just like a thing to pass the time and get kids, you know, their brain stimulated. And once again, kind of just left that practice there. But recently, you know, studies have been shown in therapeutic aspects, right? People are coloring, adults are coloring, and it's like a coping mechanism. It's something to get their mind off of the day-to-day just shit that they got to deal with, you know, everything that they have to deal with whatever the pressures of adulting are. So, it's something to just escape. It's healthy escapism for real. So
Wow. So it's healing.
it's healing, bro. It's the healing
It's
component.
healing. Wow.
Yeah.
And it's for all ages.
It's for all ages, bro.
Anybody could color.
Anybody could color. There's nothing in here that your 2 to 3 year old can't see, and even grandma's not gonna get bored. Grandma's gonna want to do both. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's incredible, man. And it gives each person that has this book the creative control to color whatever they want. And each art piece is going to be different. There's not going to be none the same in the world.
Absolutely.
Every single one is going to be different.
A whole bunch of snowflakes, man.
Wow.
Snowflakes. No, none will be identical. So
wow, man. So we need to get this book into as many people's hands as possible. We need to promote healing across the world. And that's what our mission is, working with you, Kelsey, right? With No Promise Studios, is to deliver this message all over the world, right? So we're dropping an NFT collection, right? And for those that don't know, NFT means non-fungible token. It in short, it just explains ownership of something, right? So people are actually going to be able to own a piece of this NFT, a page of the book, right? And they actually get the physical book.
It just makes sense, bro. It just makes sense because, this is something like that, it's just so wild. It's almost like people have to see this to understand it. And I had to it took me a minute, bro. It took me a minute to understand how dope this concept is. But even just the other day, just for an example, people are interacting with a product or a creation, right? They're engaging with it. They are purchasing the NFT. And because of that, you gain access to things, various things. Yep. And part of my access is, like you said, healing. And it then gets this art out to more people. It's sort of like what we did on Twitter recently. And people are starting to receive these books from Gary Vee. This is
amazing.
Education.
It's amazing, man.
Amazing. It's dope.
Wait till people start receiving this coloring book, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Wait till you hear stories about how grandma decided to indulge into Kelsey's coloring book, and it made her just a little bit happier that day. And maybe, the kids, they did it with the kids. It's something that you could do with everybody. Everybody can color, man. It makes everybody happy, man. Perfect Christmas gift, man. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm just so excited, man. I'm just so excited, man.
It's the energy is infectious. The energy is infectious. I'm super excited. I don't know if y'all could tell by my tone. I'm usually right here.
That's it.
But,
That's
you gotta look at, it's in my eyebrows. You know what I'm saying? The higher up my eyebrows go.
Yeah, we can see a little up.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's this is a special one right here. So man. Let's get back to what are you sipping on today, brother?
Me? Oh man, I got a little sore throat, so I'm on some tea right now.
Okay.
Chamomile tea, sipping on it.
Oh yeah, you're gonna sleep good too.
Yeah, man, we're gonna sleep good, man. We got this my pop's cup right now. We celebrating him, so we're just drinking some tea, man.
Yes, shout out to Nate, man.
100%, man. And speaking of Nate, which is my father, right? You created this character, right? Well, we created this character called Noble Nate, which is actually our mascot for Noble Promise Studios, man. And I mean, we're gonna put it in the clip right here so people can see it. But
yeah,
I mean, your talent is just incredible. For me to be able to tell you my vision, right? And for you to create this character, I mean, it blew my mind, man.
I appreciate that. And, once again, it's just one of those things where sometimes you just get lost in the assignment and lose sight of the significance. Like I was locked in on just executing, right? I'm like, yo, this is Sakari's pops. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is important. This is important.
Yeah, 100%.
Gotta get the features right, you know.
100%, man.
But
you got it right.
But what this means is it's just so meaningful. I appreciate being a part of that and a part of this too. I'm gonna just continue to give you your flowers, bro. That this is, it's important to me.
I appreciate it, man. But I mean, to give people a little bit of context, you know, when we decided to come up with Noble Promise Studios, you know, which is basically a platform to showcase, you know, up and coming artists, right? We're cultivating a community around being noble, right? Good, love, right? All these different type of amazing artists, right? Fully Black owned. We needed a mascot, right? We needed someone to represent, whether it was an animal, whether it was a person. And, you know, we came up with Noble Nate, which is based on my father who recently passed. And it's a way for us to celebrate my pop's legacy forever. You understand what I'm saying? Like, his legacy gets to live on through what we're doing, you know, and everything that he instilled into me as a man and how I grew up. You know, we're going to be able to instill that into others, right? So as we're sending therapy around the world and healing, we're going to be able to start sending value and lessons
and legacy
around the world, man. And that's what we're just trying to do, man. We're trying to change the world. And so, you know, it helped me create this amazing mascot, amazing logo. And I've been putting it into use, man. I'm so grateful for you as a person, man. First and foremost, I gotta give you your flowers, right? I appreciate you being willing and open to even have the conversation with me, right? So speak a little bit about that, right? You have this crazy kid, right, coming up to you saying, yo, NFTs, it's about to be insane. We gotta do this, man. And you're like, yo, what is it? What is an NFT? What are you talking about? I'm at my job right now. I just got a house with wifey. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. What's going on?
A big thing about me, bro, is maybe sometimes to my detriment, I could be, like I said, I'm the heart. I lead with my heart, right? And I lead with feeling, and I like to process things. And one thing about you, Sakari, is that from I known you in college, and then I really got to know you when we were in West Indian Coalition together. We were on the same e-board.
Yep.
Just saw the work ethic, you know, the grind, the professionalism, barbecues when the whole club is late. You out there 7 a.m, just really getting the jerk chicken right. Like, I remember those things. I looked at those things, and I looked at those key aspects of your personality and who you are as a man. I've just watched you continue to grow. So I say all that to say is that I trust you, bro. I trust you. Yeah. And I know that you're not into wasting your time. You know, you're not into wasting your time. You do the research. You're a trusted source. So when you came to me, I was slightly familiar with NFTs, like, and just hearing about it and just not knowing what it is. But, you know, one of my mentors told me a while ago, only a fool doubts proof. And the proof is out there. And
that's huge.
There are major, it's not even about the names, because it's not a clout thing. It's just a common sense thing. You know, the signs are all there. The proof is in the pudding. So when you came to me, the opportunity to get in on this NFT project, I say, yo, man, I'm here. I'm gonna be asking questions the whole way through, because that's just me. And but I'm here with you, and we rolling.
I appreciate it, man. I don't take that sincerely, man. Like, you know, I don't take that lightly. You know, trust and that type of thing, man. I really appreciate it. You know, yeah, I mean, for real, man. So NFTs, man. NFTs is changing the world. It's giving artists an opportunity to monetize or share their work, to change the perspective, right, on a struggling artist. People think you have to be a struggling artist, right?
Yeah.
But actually, you can do what you love to do, right? You can do what you love to do and make a living off of it and feed your family.
Yeah. bro, the timing of it is crazy because just learning about it and the certain references, and even today I was looking at Beeple was on Joe Rogan
Yep, I was just watching it.
and
just watching it.
just watching him and just studying his mannerisms, and he's a normal dude.
He's a regular dude, man. I met him, man. Real cool cat, man. Regular dude.
It's a regular dude, and he's living the dream. He put the work in, and he found the market. He got in at the right time, and he's just handing out boxes of
amazing dope shit, right?
Yeah,
crazy. Let's speak a little bit about that, right? People think Beeple just blew up $69 million. You know what I mean? And he sold his art piece called Every Days for $69 million. He's made about $100 million for this last year. He's met Elon Musk. He's met some of the most, top celebrities, created relationships with amazing people. But what people don't know is for 20 years, he's put in work. And the most amount of money for art that he sold was $100.
That is so
$100.
See, like, even you saying that now, and whenever people consume this and watch this, just the concept of that, bro, like that is like, okay, like the internet is the Wild West right now, right? Like it's like the it's like the internet is America right now, right? And I think about like back in the Wild West, America with the gold rush and everything. It was a land of opportunity.
Yep.
Bro, the internet now is America, right? And this isn't even the American dream. This is like the American wet dream. Like this is like, it's different, man. It's different what's happening and the possibilities that are out there for creatives.
Opportunities
in this age, man. The opportunity. People just not settling and believing in themselves and just putting the work in and just aligning with the right people. Fam, this is touching me so deeply right now because I was in a point where I was just ready to kind of put creativity to the back burner to take care of my responsibilities. Like you said, just bought a house.
Yep.
Just bought a house. And there's so much that comes with that. There's the things that we anticipate, things we don't anticipate.
1000%.
So
life hits you.
Where I was feeling my feelings, thinking of a project, thinking of a collection, and saying, yeah, I gotta get to it. But I gotta do something else first. Here comes Sakari. Yo, man, yo, it's been a minute, bro. Yo, we gotta catch up. We gotta catch up. Turn into like a good long conversation on FaceTime.
Yep.
Or to Zoom. I don't even know what it was. It was
on FaceTime. Yeah, something.
FaceTime. We were just talking.
Yep.
I'm taking notes. Grab my notebook. I'm taking notes. And just like that, like, we got to be ready. We got to be ready for certain moments, and I'm starting to ramble now, but there's a gem in there. You just got to be ready for moments, and you got to understand opportunities and know that things are possible for you. And I'm speaking you as in me. I had to just believe that I could carve out a path with my creativity and my gifts that could possibly, that could feed my family, and we could live a lifestyle off of my gifts, and we can help people.
To your labor, yeah. I think the real gem there is enjoy the journey, right? But also like the way that you were feeling when you were putting what you love or your passion in the back burner, right? It wasn't a good feeling,
Yeah.
And now I think it's about happiness. It's not even about money, man. It's just about being able to be happy and doing what you love, man.
Facts, bro. It's funny because it's like this Tupac saying when a black man reaches his 30s, he comes out of his 20s in America, and America could just beat the passion out of a black man. And I was like, yo, this is so crazy. I'm 29. I'm starting to just have these thoughts like, maybe it's just something
Maybe it's just a thing.
Maybe
Right.
those thoughts.
Yep.
And
Yep.
shit was happening.
Yep.
What Tupac was saying was really starting to happen. But there are a couple people in my life that constantly remind me, and you are one of those people.
Gotta shake you sometimes. You gotta shake you sometimes. But
I shake, yo, bro, nah.
yo,
A good
yo,
slap.
you're talented as fuck.
Yes.
Yo, don't like what? Stop. What's
And
that?
people need those sort of people in their lives. It's so important. Imposter syndrome is a real thing.
100%.
It's a very real thing, and it is running rampant. Worse than COVID.
Yep.
That shit is, yo. So, let me step down from the soapbox. Maybe it's the coquito talking, but
The coquito.
I just had to,
No, it's powerful.
passionate when we talk about these things, bro. We talk about finding your dreams and executing.
It's important, man. And I recently went through something like that too, man. I was cooking for a high-level celebrity, A-list celebrity, right? And I can't disclose the name just for
NDAs, I understand.
NDAs and things like that. But I was cooking for a black man that is one of the most well-known black men in America, right? In New York. Great guy. Wasn't happy. Making the most money I've ever made. Ever. I said, I got to put my dreams aside and I got to do what's right for my family. My pops just passed. I got to do this thing. I wasn't happy, man, because I put my dreams on the side, and going through that moment was so important to me because it made me realize that my dreams can't come second. I got to go all in on myself, right? And to be honest, if I didn't go through that encounter, right, making the most money, working for a high-level celebrity, thinking I made it, right? If I didn't go through that situation, right, we wouldn't be here right now. Yeah. I wouldn't have said, I need to start this NFT project. I need to share this art with the world. People need to be inspired. We need to send healing across the world. This is an amazing opportunity. We're going to believe in ourselves. We're going to bet on ourselves. We're not waiting for other people to come to us. We're just going to do it, right? That wouldn't have happened if it didn't go through that. You know what I mean? So having these, it's just God's always right on time, man. That's just how I look at it.
Oh, man. Yo, salud, yeah. Gotta take a sip of that chamomile, man.
Yeah, man, chamomile, man. So speak to me a little bit about, you make some dope murals.
Oh yes, yeah. But that's just another.
How did that come about?
That snowball that I was talking about. So that snowball in the relationships, man. I was, at the time, I was still living in New York, and I just found myself going to the gym in my neighborhood. It was just a product of consistency. I would go to these HIIT classes, these high intensity workout classes, and was just putting in the work every day, just going to these classes, building relationships with the people in the classes, joking around, just trying to bring life to the room. And through those relationships, I started adding people on Instagram and started seeing things that I did. They saw the coloring book. They're like, "Oh, you have a coloring book? That's crazy." Yeah, I'd like to support you. I'd like to buy one. Bought the book. And they fell in love with the art. They fell in love with the art, and they fell in love with my person. And one day, it was literally right after I got married last year. So I got married technically twice, but once the papers were signed.
Okay.
Right. So 2020, one of the homegirls from the gym, her father is an activist in the community. He's been an activist in St. Albans for decades. Like, this is a man that housed Al Sharpton, right? Al Sharpton slept on his floor. You know what I mean? Like, these are literal civil rights activists in the community, and it's a family. It's the Whitehead family, based in St. Albans, And all the while, homegirl in the gym, we just joking around, just genuine connection. This is her dad, and they were looking to do a mural in the community right by my grade school, where
Wow.
I used to walk there
Wow.
some days. And this is St. Albans train station for the Long Island Railroad. And they were like, hey, have you ever done a mural before? We I love your style. We'd love to get you to do this. And I was like, yeah, I'm down. I'm down. Straight to YouTube. Downloaded Skillshare, downloaded whatever platform I needed to learn how to do this.
YouTube University.
YouTube University, bro. I never painted something on that scale before.
Of course.
And I started freaking out because I didn't have experience with spray paint. And I'm like, oh shit, I gotta learn how to do this. I gotta execute to this level that I'm used to executing. And what I learned in that is that I didn't need the cans. I didn't need the cans in that moment. I could use the brush. It was just a different type of paint that I could just easily manipulate. I mostly work with acrylic paints, heavy bodied acrylics. But now I learned about the liquid fluid acrylic paint, which is it just flows much easier, it spreads. So now I'm in, and I brought one of my very good friends with me who also grew up in the neighborhood, but she's a friend of my wife's, and her grandma lives around the corner from the mural. So now as we're doing the mural, her family's coming by every night, checking on us. We're working on this thing for probably 2 weeks. At this time, I'm living out my dream at working at a barber shop. It was on the bucket list. I said, yo, I'm working on it. I'm working at the shop. And in the night after I leave the shop, we're going to the mural. So from about 8 to 2 in the morning, I'm painting on the mural. And then in the morning, the shop opened at 9, from like 9 to 6. So from 9 to 6 at the shop, cutting hair, leave, grab a bite, go to the wall. And we made an impact on the community, bro. And it was just a product of that snowball. And once again, just relationships, just being a good person and just being available and ready.
Look at that. Look at that full circle moment, right? You speak about relationships, right? The importance of relationships, right? Having the discipline to say, hey, I'm going to paint on this thing at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm going to the barbershop, right? You're just not giving up. You're going to do this thing. And then not even fully being confident, but being so confident that you ended up doing it because you were like, yo, I don't know how to do this thing. But you didn't say, hey, man, I'm not the right guy for you. You said, no. I am the right guy. I'm going to make it work. And it came out amazing.
Yeah, bro.
To have that level of confidence to say, we don't need spray paint. We're going to figure it out. We're going to make it work. And for your talent to be showcased and for it to come out the way it did, it doesn't look like your first mural, my man.
It's love, bro. I appreciate that.
And you're a part of the community now forever.
And that didn't even hit
incredible.
Me. Again, I told you, like, I just have my head down when I create, and I don't even realize what's happening until then I just stand back. And someone told me, my father-in-law told me, like, yo, you're a celebrity in this community now. And I was like, what are you talking about? It's like, no, you don't understand. Like, your art is on this wall. And I put an anti-graffiti layer over that. So that's just going to expand the lifespan. But this shit is going to be up there for when I do have children.
The kids going to be able to see that. I made that.
That's it.
Made that.
And it's surreal, bro. And it's surreal. And it just led me to doing things in other places of business. I actually did a mural in the shop that I was working at after that.
Wow.
Did a mural in a couple businesses, and
Snowflakes.
There's more to come.
Snowflakes.
So
wow. We gotta take a picture in front of that mural, man. I'll be honored, man.
Absolutely.
You know, I gotta go visit. I gotta see it in person, man, because I know it's even more incredible in person, man.
Yeah,
Kelsey, man, thank you, man. What can people expect? So we have a collection coming,
Yeah.
the coloring book, right? You said HipHop Influences, right?
Yes.
Like speak a little bit about the HipHop influence, right? Why was that important to you? Speak about what we have coming.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I'm just excited.
Bro, as we bring this thing in for a landing, a little bit about hip hop's influence on me personally. Hip hop sort of like raised me in a way, right? I was an only child once again, and I just nerd out about music. So I just started in high school. I just really just started going in my group, my circle at the time. We would just come in, we talk about Kanye, we talk about Lupe, and we really get into like the craftsmanship of what these dudes were saying, and like we go the wordplay, and like it's art. It's like that's like they're weaving a quilt, right? They're weaving tapestry with their words, and then they're throwing in messages and education in there. I learned so much from that art form, bro. Like the Roots and Black Thought and Common. And I'm a rap nerd, bro. I really am. So I look at those craftsmen and what they put into their trade, the messaging mixed with the culture, mixed with the dope shit, mixed with the candy that they're throwing in there, and the timelessness that they're throwing in there. And these are the elements that inspire me to put into my work. Right? I mentioned Mick Jenkins. Somebody could say 4 words, and the 4 words mean 4 different things. That's magic, that is magic to me. So when you ask what people can expect, it's just the further into this journey I go with art, the more I find myself, and the more I start to believe in myself, and the more I actually see the things that people see when they look at me, because I don't see that all of the time. Very rarely, a fraction of the time, I see what people see when they look at things that I do. So as I'm working through that, the more I create, the more I step into myself. So as I continue to step into myself, it's just more greatness.
It's all part of the journey, my man. All part of the journey, man.
It's all part of it, man.
Kelsey, thank you so much, man. Where can people follow you, man? Where can people follow you?
Hey, man, you can follow me on socials. I'm on Instagram. Currently working on just merging. I had 3 Instagrams at a time. I was doing a lot. That was a reflection of my brain.
You got a Twitter?
So it's all coming together. So on Instagram, you can follow me at K_GIDDINGS, K Giddings.
Okay.
And on Twitter, you can follow me at follow KELZ. That's follow Kels. I'm on TikTok as well. Don't know that yet. As a matter of fact, let me pull that up. Let's be professional. Let's get it.
Wow.
But mainly you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram.
Yep.
TikTok, bro. Let's not even do that. I'm on Facebook as well.
And we'll be able to showcase. You'll be able to see some of his work on Noble Promise Studios, right? On Twitter at Noble Promise NFT. On Instagram at Noble Promise Studios. And you'll be able to see some of his work along with some of the other artists that we're working with. But I mean, Kels, man. I mean, amazing artist, dedicated, passionate, tenacity, not giving up, strong, amazing Black man, Renaissance man. My brother, I appreciate you. I thank you for your time, man. Time is one of the most valuable assets that we have. Absolutely. We don't get it back, man. So I'm just grateful for you to spend this time with me, man. So thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Let's make history.
Let's make history, man. I am Black history. Love.
Love, man.
What's going on, YouTube? If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. It's never been a better time than now. So come follow along. Come see the ups, the downs, the entire process of this thing that we call life. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next video. Love.
Sippin' with Sakari.